Everyone has pearls to share, and I'd like to share some pearls of splinting with you. I have here 3 different thicknesses of splinting materials, 1/8 thick, 1/16, and 1/12 thick. The 1/8 material should never be cut to cut out a pattern without preheating it in hot water. The 1/12, depending on the strength of your scissors or on your hands, should probably be preheated in the splint pan and made soft, but not totally activated in order to cut out a pattern. And most of us with good scissors can cut out 1/16 inch thick materials directly on the pattern, and then the material should always be placed back in the splint pan before molding. So you have material cut to a specific size for your patient's splint. You cut out your pattern by heating up the material a little bit, and then you put your material back in the hot water so that it is totally activated before you make your splint. Another tip for splinting is when using a non-coated material, something sticky like Orfit Classic, is to use a little sprinkle of baby powder on both sides of the material prior to getting it wet, prior to cutting out your pattern. This will make it a little less tacky, a little less likely to stick to itself, easier to work with. And I'm going to show you the exact amount of powder to put on. You don't want to overdo it. You just want to take one hand, rub one entire side, turn it over, and with the same amount of powder, rub the other side. And now this Orfit Classic or sticky material is ready to go into the hot water. Other tips have included using a little dish detergent into the splint pan. This is not a bad idea. Having a little soap in the water will not harm your splinting material, just make it a little less tacky. And also another idea with particularly hairy people, you might want to put a little lotion on their hands or their forearms in order to prevent the splinting material from sticking. And I learned another tip about working with sticky material is to use wet paper towel between your sticky material and the patient's skin. You should always leave the label, which in this case is right here, on the splinting material until you are the last person to cut out that piece of material. In this way, you will always know what type of material you are using, and the person behind you will always know what piece of material they have in the cupboard. You will also know how to reorder it. Our label, as you can see here, is called Orfit Natural NS, and it has an expiration date and a lot number. It's very important to keep this information available, so if you have any problems with the material, you can contact Orfit or the manufacturer to let them know about any problems that there might have been with production. And our only link to this piece of material is through the lot number. The expiration date is also important for having material that has gone way too long in storage and might not be as good as it should be. And therefore, we advise you to look at the expiration date, but you typically will not have a problem with that. It's mostly for countries where they store our materials and don't control for the weather or the humidity.